All right, folks, let's go. You know, intemperance in adults refers to a system of moderation or self-control, often manifested in excessive indulgence or unrestrained behavior. Popular music maestro King Wasiu Ayinde Marshal, a.k.a. KWAM, stole the headlines recently. The renowned musician had caused an ugly incident at the Abuja airport on the 5th of August. A pertinent KWAM has tendered an unreserved apology to the Presidency, Aviation Ministry, the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAAN, and Value Jet Airline over his unruly behavior. To err, they say, is human. To forgive, divine, BKO.
Yes, it's up to the Nigerian authorities to forgive, but they also must bear in mind that the whole world is watching.
Oh, yeah.
You see, when these kind of things happen in the full glare of the public, there's nothing you can hide anymore. The video has been seen all over the world.
Pictures don't tell lies.
Globally, they will be looking at Nigeria because what happened is an unusual one. I've not seen where this sort of thing happened. Except you are a terrorist. You stand before an aircraft and say the aircraft must not fly.
Okay.
I've never seen anything like this. You see, it was a case of madness on the part of KWAM and on the part of the pilots, because that pilot could easily have killed him. We could easily have killed him. It's irresponsible to attempt to move your jet without ascertaining that no one is around within the vicinity of the aircraft.
Or being officially cleared.
Yes. It's against aviation rules to do that. And I've not seen a single pilot, a retired pilot, who came out to support what the pilot did. Because it was pure madness on display. Yes, KWAM, being a self-regarding individual, must have felt, oh, I'm too big to be challenged, I'm too big to be told don't do this. But you do not then proceed to try to even up with him through another illegality that could easily have taken his life. We are happy today because he managed to emerge out of that piece of madness with his life intact. What if the aircraft wing had knocked him off? He would have been killed. And if it was a bigger aircraft, those Boeings, KWAM will have been sucked off by the engine.
The engine, yeah. Because
they always tell you, don't move close. And once the aircraft stops, they put a barrier in front so that you don't stand in front of it. With the aircraft engine running, you can't stand in front of the engine. It could just have been sucked off. What are you trying to prove? Even if that, what you are carrying was a life-saving water, and not alcohol, as some people suggested, the aviation protocol suggests that you must obey instructions handed down by the pilot and his crew.
That's it.
And if you, as the sort of person who will not take the instruction, they could impose a flight ban, which will even be beyond value jet, beyond even Nigeria. So I can see why he is apologizing. He knows that even the people who like him at the presidency, some of us who like him, we were ashamed of his conduct. So, and to be on their good book, he also knows that he has to apologize. But he must also realize that what he did elsewhere, he could have been fired at. If it was in South Africa that he did that, they will have opened fire on him. We won't be arguing like this now. If it was somewhere else, they would treat him purely as a terrorist and his life would be taken. Do you remember the case of the guy, the Brazilian also, who was killed inside a train in the UK? They thought he meant harm in the aftermath of 9/11. Meanwhile, this guy meant no harm. But they took his life all the same. We must not create a situation in which people will see us in Nigeria as people whose airports are not safe.
Yeah.
We are just trying to come out of years of mess, and then this happened. So I'm happy that they've said that their investigations are still continuing. Yeah. I listened to one audio clip in which he was even still threatening the owner of the airline. What has Kunle Shoname done? It's just a Nigerian who has invested outside of our country and felt like investing in his country too. He runs the best organized football club in Nigeria.
Oh, yeah.
Now, yes. With stadium hosted, everything that supports sports science. So there's no reason for anyone to threaten Shoname, because his own people, his workers, chose to follow the law. You don't take water into the aircraft. Even abroad, some of the airlines will provide water for you. Yeah, you pick it as you are.
You are still
yes, as you are descending the ramp into the aircraft, you pick that bottle. They don't allow you to take your own water in. So they've done nothing wrong.
Dipo, but again, at a time like this, you expect things to come by way of defense. KWAM 1 is telling you and I that he is dehydrated, and so on medical advice, I'm asked to take water and so on. But this was a different scenario.
BQ has said it all. Water is provided at every point to boarding.
Okay.
You can be in the lounge, take some water. It doesn't take up to 20 minutes to board. In between the lounge and the boarding point, you don't need the water. But what I've seen, and from other videos, has been the fact that in the past, this thing had been allowed. Even on his own YouTube channel, you will see him taking water on board the same value jet and Arike. Those two, they allowed it. So that shows that there is still this big manism that attends to things that we do in this country. And it must stop now.
And that was why you felt entitled.
Yes. In fact, there was a day I was trying to fly from Abuja. There was a drink inside my check-in. They asked me to come and take it out because it was a can. They said if it had been a plastic bottle, it would have been allowed. And then you are allowing somebody, but
they had indulged them over the years.
Yes, that's what has happened. So he feels entitled. But beyond all of that, I'm also beginning to feel for the man. And at the same time, the pilot. But like BQ said, the international community is watching us. No matter what we think, some sanity must attend these. We must, because already we've had, he missed the show in Abuja. He's missing one in the US today. Another one is in Canada before the end of the month. And then that pilot.
There are repercussions. So.
Yes, and that pilot. Even, you know, I showed you a video before we started. You will see that the SACOL people came and pulled out the wedge from under the aircraft and told her, you are in the queue for takeoff. She was scared. But even at that, like BQ said, she should have used her discretion at that point, because I know.
Seeing that people were around the aircraft.
And everybody knows that once you put a flight on a queue for takeoff, every other person behind will stay until when that flight takes off. So, and like she said in what she wrote, that's the pilot now, Lunati Ogoyi. They were delayed for 40 minutes. And 40 minutes for somebody who runs a business
is a long time in aviation.
Because somebody in the aviation told me years back that the only way you can make profit is when your aircraft is not on the ground. That's why they created several engines, so that as you are finishing with one, you can switch over to the other one. That's the only way you can make profit, marginally at that. So it means every minute wasted counts.
But a little word here for people who are in the limelight. KWAM 1 is an opinion leader. You know, youths look up to him.
Yes.
And
that comes with a high sense of responsibility.
Yes, it is not everybody who is in the limelight that will behave like this. There are people that once you call somebody and say, speak with him, they know that he's going to hear what that person says. And that is important.
But
you must always have somebody.
People should never feel too big and too arrogant to be spoken to.
Exactly.
All this, oh, don't you know who I am? Absolute rubbish. Who are you? Before God, we were created equal. So respect our laws. respect our
laws.
laws.
For that matter, too big to obey laws.
No. They can't do those things outside Nigeria.
They can't now.
Our country is where people think they can trample on the laws.
Journalists
and then they'll be apologizing
can
later.
tell you
Go and sit down.
authoritatively that KWAM has apologized. So I hope the lesson is taken. It is learned and it is taken. Okay, then, to our next story. You know, the plea to all humans is this: strive not to be a success, but be a person of value. The late Mahatma Gandhi takes it a notch higher. He said, you must be the change